Hi guys, it's Mrs. C here with Cycle 1 Week 8 Tutor Ideas for new grammar and a bonus tip at the end. I was gone last week. Well, not gone. I just didn't upload last week because we were on fall break. So I hope all of you guys had a good week and I hope most of you are still with us following along. So with that, we'll jump right into geography. I generally start out with geography only because it's easier just to have all the maps already out in place than taking the time to hand them out in class, and because a lot of times we use dry erase markers, I can already have those out. But today, since we were on the world map instead of the Africa map, we didn't use dry erase markers. We just went ahead and started off going right into our geography instead of tracing and outlining something on the map. So I used my little toothpicks as pointers, and I told a little story. I did the geography out of order, so you don't have to do the geography in order. If it's easier for you to present it a different way than what it is in the guide, that's fine, because for memory masters, they don't have to know them in a specific order. They just have to know where they are. So we started off in the Bay of Bengal, or if you're like me and from Kentucky, the Bay of Bengal. I mean, Bengal tigers, right? You don't say Bengal tigers, but anyway. So we started off swimming in the Bay of Bengal, and we went around the tip of India and swam into the Arabian Sea. And by that time, we were really tired of swimming. So we decided to get out and dry off by walking through the Great Indian Desert. And after that, we decided, we would like to go see the Himalayas. So we had to get in our canoe and we had to paddle across the Ganges River in our canoe all the way across into the Himalayas. We wanted to climb up and see what we could see. So we climbed all the way up onto the top of the Himalayan mountains, and then we looked around and decided, we like it back home. So we went back down the Himalayan mountains, paddled back across the Ganges River, walked through the Great Indian Desert, and by that time we were really hot, so we jumped back into the Arabian Sea, swam around the tip of India, and back into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so that was a little story I told today. Nothing special, just kind of put them in a little bit easier of an order for them to find on the map. And then after we did that, I kind of did a show me where this is, where did we canoe through, where did we dry off in, that kind of stuff. So I did that with them. So that was geography. For English, we were doing prepositions. So again, I'm using the chant from CC, which is on your timeline in more C to CD if you've been looking for it. And then I'm also using the motions from Prepositions in Paradise if you would like to look them up. So we have of, my goodness. We have of, so we're gonna make an O, and then it's gonna go into an F, which is 3 fingers up like this. So O-F for of. It looks like she's kind of making like her eyes open, but she's doing O-F, okay? Of, and then we're gonna hold our arm out and touch it and then take our hand off, like off, okay? So of, off, on, okay? For on to, if you're standing, you can take 2 steps forward, like act like you're kind of stepping onto something. Or if you're sitting at the table, they can take their hands onto the table, kind of pat forward onto the table. So onto, and then out, like get out of here, okay? So we have of, off, on, onto, out, all right? So that was English. We did those just 7 times through real quick. For science, we have what are some types of seed plants? Some types of seed plants are monocot, mono means 1, dicot means 2, and conifer, which is like our Christmas tree. So we put our hands up and made ourselves a triangle, like a Christmas tree is a triangle, okay? We just did those several times through. That one was a pretty easy one this week. For Latin, because this is our second week doing them, most of the kids kind of know the chant or are familiar with the chant. So we sat in a circle and passed a ball around the circle. And then as each person held the ball, we said a different noun ending. So various, is, e, and a, like went around the circle like that. And then for plural, we switched and went the opposite direction. So we just sang through those. And again, if you are using the chant and doing it in class, you're already getting it in 3 times. So you kind of only have to do it twice and then maybe say it again when, as you introduce it, say them through 1 time and then sing the chant twice, and you've got in your 7 times for Latin. So Latin can go pretty fast right now. For history, I really struggled when I was planning to figure out what to do with this one, so I just went really stick and sand with it. and we sang the song, and then we just held hands and went around in a circle because I didn't have a ton of movement this week. So we held hands and went around in a circle. But what we did to kind of have them pay attention to the song and the music is there are several times in the music where she's just singing and there isn't a beat going on in the music, or in the instruments, I guess. So we would kind of hold and not move, and then as it went back into the song, we kind of were walking around like this. And then anytime she held a note and there wasn't anything, we would wait, and then we would go again with the song. So we did that. We just listened to it. Again, just like with Latin, if you're listening to it on the CD or you're saying it and then singing it twice, that's 3 times. So if you do it twice, you've got 6 times in, you just need 1 more time. So we did that a couple times, went around a circle. Oh, and then at the end, they wanted to fall down, so we fell down at the end of the song. So that was history. For math, I had Post-it notes again. So I wrote out all the numbers on Post-it notes and put them up on the wall. And then my kids do a lot better with these. I don't know if it's because they're bigger or because they're separated more than they are on my board. But they seem to do a lot better and pay a lot more attention during math with Post-it notes. So I put them all up in order and then point to them as we sing the song through 1 time. And then usually, especially since we're with the 14s now and they're harder numbers, I took off the beginning and the end one because those are easier to remember. And then went through again, sang it, and then took out a couple more. And I probably only took out 6 total because, again, the 14s are a little harder. So just sang through the song several times while we were doing that. We didn't really jump or do anything too special today for that because they were just paying attention and several of them were pointing along on the Post-it notes with me. So I didn't feel like we needed to jump for today. Timeline. So timeline's our last one. So congratulations, once you've completed this week, you are now in the Middle Ages and a different track on the CD. We have Council of Nicaea. So the Council of Nicaea is when they made the decision that the Godhead, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit are 3 in 1. So for our sign for that, we're going to make sign language 3, which you make like this. We're going to hold our hand like this. Our 3 is going to go under, and when we come up, it's going to be 1. So it's like 3 into 1. Okay, from the side, it looks like this. All right. So Council of Nicaea. Augustine, we're making A. Of Hippo, there was a lot of change going on at that time. So we're hooking our fingers and then just kind of going back and forth like this. Augustine of Hippo. Okay. Jerome completes the Vulgate. So we're going to make a J, which I always tell them is like a swoosh. That's what we do. So Jerome completes the Vulgate. If you were with us last year, you learned some Latin Vulgate. We're going to make a book for our Vulgate. Okay. He completed the translation. Vulgate. Visigoths, we're going to make a V. Sack Rome. So we're going to, if you're ransacking, you're going in and taking a bunch of stuff. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go in and act like we're grabbing and taking everything that we can. Visigoths, sack, and then we're going to cross our fingers for an R for Rome. Okay. Then we have the Middle Ages. I don't know why. I always have to do it that way. So you're going to act like you are kind of gathering up all the ages, but you only gathered half. So you're right in the middle. So you gather up, and then you're kind of dividing your hand in half. So I have a flat hand, scooping around, and then half for the Middle Ages. Circa 450 to circa 1500 is what it says on the CD. You have Council of Chalcedon. So that was just a lot about Christ and Christianity. So we're just going to make the symbol where we touch the palms of our hands, okay? And then Western Roman Empire falls to barbarians. So we've got a W for Western, and we're going to move it out from our body. Western Roman Empire falls. It's a tough one to tell what it is, right? Falls, and then this is the fun one. To barbarians, you have to kind of hulk yourself up, like squeeze your fist in, and then you have to make a mean face, and you have to say it like this, barbarians. At least I do. I can't say it in a nice voice while I'm doing this motion. So, Western Roman Empire falls to barbarians. Okay, so that was timeline for today. That was everything. My class was really, really good today. I was very thankful for them. I missed them last week. So my bonus tip for you is for 10 Whistle. So for 10 Whistle this week is dynamics, and it's my favorite week because last year it dawned on me that the song John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt is the perfect song for teaching kids dynamics because you use all the dynamics in the song. So that's what we did for dynamics this week. We sang through that song. It hurts my heart how many of them don't know John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, but they do now. You're welcome, parents. So, but it starts mezzo forte, and then you get all the way to fortissimo, you decrescendo, then you go from mezzo piano, all the way, all the way down until you barely can't hear it all, and you're crescendoing and decrescendoing all in there. So what I do is I write it all out on the board from pianissimo all the way to fortissimo, and I point at where we are, and then I also have a crescendo and a decrescendo, so when we're doing those, I point to the crescendo or the decrescendo. So they're hearing it and also seeing it where we're at on there. So just a little tip for tin whistle. It suggests in the guide doing it with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, which is also fine to do. I just find that John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt is kind of a new song, newer song for some of them than Twinkle Twinkle, so they tend to like that one a little more. But anyway, all right guys, I hope you have a great week. I will see you back next week with week 9. Thanks!